I found a love for me. Well, darling, just dive right in and follow my lead. Well, I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. Well, I never knew you were the someone waiting for me. 'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give you up this time. Well, darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is all I own, and in your eyes you're holding mine. Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass. We're listening to our favorite song. When you said you looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath, but you heard it. Darling, you look perfect tonight.
Well, I found a man stronger than anyone I know. He shares my dreams. I hope that someday we'll share our home. I found love to carry more than just my secrets, to carry love, to carry children of our own. We are still kids, but we're so in love, fighting against all odds. I know we'll be alright this time. Darling, just hold my hand. Be your girl, you'll be my man. And I see my future in your eyes. Well, baby,
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Amy and Johnny, I'd like to welcome you here today to witness their marriage. My name is Benny Ruff, and I'm duly authorised by law to solemnise marriages according to law. Without further ado, if I could beg for your most uncontrolled noise making as I present one half of the main attraction here today, Mr. Johnny Pendlebury! Come on! Standing next to Johnny is his best man and almost kind of brother Dylan, who probably won't get married himself until they legalise marriage between humans and gaming consoles. Next is Johnny's uncle Glenn, who has just become a father for the first time, finally providing him with some justification for his sense of humour. Yeah. And next is Johnny's stepdad Nick, who is woke as fuck. All right. Coming down the aisle today first will be Johnny's mum, Liza, who's the most normal thing in Amy's life, a fact which is deeply concerning to Liza. Next will be Johnny's sister Mercedes, whom I shall spare a proper stitching up because she was the first person to welcome Amy with open arms to the family when they got together. And next will be Amy's sister and maid of honour, Belinda, who, believe it or not, is actually 8 years older than Amy, yet about 1.5 feet shorter. I don't know, that's what you wanted to say, but anyway. So ladies and gentlemen, if I could ask you to please be upstanding. In one of our society's very few ritualised public displays of optimism. Now, many of us outside this ceremony might resume a well-worn cynicism around marriage and relationships. It's not necessarily an unhealthy thing. In fact, it's ironically given marriage a new lease on life. People nowadays don't get married because they feel they have to. They get married because they want to. They don't buy into the dream. They voluntarily construct their own dream, and they invite us all to come along and join with them just for a moment, believing in a future that is as bright or brighter than the present. All the messy and difficult parts of human relationships are worth it. But before I get too heavy, I'd like to tell you a little bit about how Johnne and Amy first met. It was in that great hotbed of digital romance known as Facebook, which is a totally trustworthy place to connect with strangers, which led them to meet up in pitch blackness at about 9 o'clock at night, which again is a totally non-shady to meet a person that you've literally never met before and don't know anything about. Yeah, anyway. Johnne, although he had a car and lived a 5-minute drive from the park where they met, decided to walk there anyway. So after an hour of walking, he finally arrived to find Amy sitting there with her pet chihuahua for protection. She was yapping at him, like fiercely. I mean, the chihuahua was, anyway. But after they talked for 10 minutes, she jumped in his lap and fell asleep. Again, that was the chihuahua. Either way, they got along pretty well. And after about a month, Johnne just stopped going home. I mean, he had a home, he just stopped going there. Anyway, we'll skip forward about 3 years, and a 13-year-old American girl was having some problems getting along with her mum. So her mum decided to get Dr. Phil to help to get him work it out. Unhappy with the audience, the girl then uttered the phrase, "Cash me outside, how about that?" Yeah. And so was born an internet phenomenon that grew from a Dr. Phil show to a rap career under the name of Bad Baby, and corporate endorsements, a video game, and tellingly, a world tour, all of which was being watched closely by Amy and Johnne. By December last year, Amy had gotten them concert tickets with a meet and greet before the show. But Johnne wasn't content with that. Oh no. He got in touch with Bad Baby's management and decided to set up something. And they kept him strung out the entire time. So much so that when they were headed to the gig, he had no idea what was going to happen. But when they got there, a security guard took him aside and said, "Say there's a problem with the tickets. Don't tell your missus what's going on yet." Amy thought security had a problem with Johnne and she started stressing and crying. Johnne, meanwhile, was chatting with Bad Baby's stage managers and working out what was going to happen later on. what happened later on was halfway through the gig, Bad Baby told Amy to get on stage and she said, "Bring your boyfriend too. I like to make him watch." And proceeded to give Amy a full lap dance. Then she handed Johnny the mic and he asked her to marry him right there on stage on a TMZ YouTube video. Everyone screamed and they made it rain with little bazookas of fake money. Should have been, but it was pretty epic anyway. Yeah. So, you know, Bad Baby also talks to Amy quite often now. So Danielle, if you're watching this video, respect. Thank you. Johnny says he loves Amy. She makes him a better person and like he's glad every day when he wakes up that this is what he's going to have forever. They have their 5 dogs together. It's like they're creating a family basically, a furry one for now. But he wants to have kids with her one day and she's a good fit. Wifey material. Amy says that she loves Johnny's sense of humour. Laughing to her is the best medicine and he's so funny. She can't wait to let him be the father of her kids. There are so many things that he does that she just wouldn't change. Like even the things that annoy her about him. If you were to stop those things tomorrow, she'd really miss it. He's 8. Yeah? Your words, you know. Tell her that. In the future, these two plan, well, Johnny wants to get a farm and a bunch of animals, and Amy just wants to be wherever Johnny is. And that's the end of the story. You should probably applaud him. Yeah, that's good. Sweet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm compelled by our benevolent Commonwealth Government to read you a bit from the Marriage Act to make this thing legal. It's pretty heavy shit, I hope you're ready. Yeah. Okay. Before you are joined together in marriage in my presence, and in the presence of your family and friends as witnesses, I'm bound to remind you publicly of the solemn and binding nature of the relationship into which you now enter. Marriage, according to law in Australia, is the union of 2 people to the exclusion of all others, voluntarily entered into for life. Government wanted you to know that. So there you go. Okay. Cool. Well, I'm going to get down to business now. I'm going to start by asking you 2 some questions. So, Johnny, do you take Amy to be your wife? In good times and bad, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
That's pretty good. Amy, do you take this man, Johnny, to be your lawful wedded husband? For better, for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
It's going so well. Well, if you feel like unencumbering yourself with those flowers and maybe turning to face each other, that would be good. Yeah, I'm coming over here.
Jump in the middle there.
All right. Amy and Johnny, well, not necessarily in that order, will now read their vows, which they've written themselves and definitely haven't shown each other because they only just wrote it. Right?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Oh, this. You just, you know, look.
Amy, I vow to always put aside my stubbornness and listen to your side. I promise to be there at your worst and your best and be your protector for the rest of our lives. I no longer have goals for myself, but goals that we make together for the future. Every day is like living in a fairy tale with you. I didn't know I was missing something in my life till you came along with those beautiful blue eyes. And that moment I knew I not only found love, but also my soulmate, my future mother to our kids, and someone that I want to grow old with. This moment here will not only be the day you would take my last name, but also the start to our new journey. I love you.
You're gonna make me look like a dude.
It's long.
Johnny, you came into my life at a time where I truly believed it was the end for me. I remember being alone in my room at 17 and feeling so numb. I decided to reach out to you. You picked me up and drove me to Werribee South Beach, to which I later found out it was your go-to spot to take all the pretty girls. But we just talked for hours about everything. A shooting star ironically went past and we both made a wish. You wished for fame. Nothing's changed there. What you may not know is that that night, my wish was to just be happy and for someone to save me. That wish came true. You truly saved me. You truly saved my life. And I am finally so utterly and completely content in myself and my life. Thank you for that. Thank you for saving me. With that being said, I vow to always be there to save you. I vow to save you from yourself when you're your own worst enemy. I vow to save you from all the evil in this world. I vow to save your ass when you forget a birthday or plans that were made literally months in advance. And I vow to love, protect you, and ride with you till the day that I die. I love you, Johnny Pendlebury, my best friend, my hero for eternity.
Sweet. Dylan, may we have the first ring, please? The little one. Okay, take it out. Nice one. Here you go. That's for you.
And as you're putting it on.
There you go. Cool. You ready? Just put it on and then hang out that one, yeah. And then just, whoa, dragon, that's good. Okay, now say this, okay. I call upon the persons here present.
I call upon
the person
here present.
Yeah, sweet. To witness that I,
Johnne Pendlebury,
take you, Amy Louise Hoy,
to
be my lawful wedded wife.
wedded wife.
Sweet. And I slip on the ring. Just hang it over here somewhere. There you go. It's pretty good. Just getting out of the photos. All right, Dylan. Maybe have the other ring, please. Just open the box and then. Oh, yeah, I'll do it. There you go. That's for you.
Oh,
just
yeah.
the ring.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, Dylan's
Which
good.
hand does it go on?
There you go, man.
The left
Thank
one.
you. That's sweet. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. I call upon
the persons here